Our story is Old Man at the Bridge, and I will start with the original extract of Ernest Hemingway. The old man with steel rimmed spectacles and very dusty clothes sit by the side of the road. There was a pontoon bridge across the river. In carts, trucks, men, women, and children were crossing it. The mule-drawn carts staggered along the steep slope. From the bridge, and the soldiers helping push the carts against the spokes of the wheels. The trucks were heading. They were grounding up out of it, and the peasants plodded along the ankle-deep dust. But the old man sat there without moving. He was too tired to go any farther. It was my business to cross the bridge, explore the bridgehead, and find out the point up to which the enemy has advanced. I did this and returned to the bridge. There were not so many carts now, and very few people on the foot, but the old man was still there. So, where do you come from? I asked him. From San Carlos, he said and smiled. That was his native town, so it gave him a pleasure to mention it, and he smiled. I was taking care of the animals, he explained. Oh, I said, not quite understanding. So, these were two paragraphs which I took from the starting of the story. The plot of the story is the Spanish Civil War, 1938, and in this Spanish Civil War, there is an old man who is characterized with wearing a spectacle of steel, and he is having a very dusty clothes. He is sitting on the road. The dust on his clothes is being explained, or it can be explained by imagining that he must have walked too long to come here. He was sitting on the road silently, and situation was there that everyone was vacating that place. The children, the women, the men, they were walking away from that place. The trucks were moving ahead. The mule-drawn carts that were staggering, but the soldiers were helping them against the spokes so that they can pass out that place. That all defines, that all signifies that that place was a dangerous place to stay on, because everyone was rushing out, but the old man was sitting over there, and he was tired. After some time, the place was vacant, because in the second para it has been explained that the narrator of the story, who is a scout or a soldier, it was his business to cross the bridge and look at the bridge head to see the point up to which point the enemy has advanced. And he did that in a routine manner, and then he came back and he saw that the old man was again sitting over there. So he tried to communicate it with that old man. Where do you come from? The scout tried to communicate with the old man. The old man answered from San Carlos with a smile, because he has to remember his own hometown, and it signifies that he used to love his hometown too much, because he smiled. Here old man is being characterized as innocent person, victim of the war, the voiceless people, and there is a ironical situation. On the one hand, a helpless old man, which is symbolizing the voiceless people, is sitting over the bridge, and on the other side the scout is looking out for the enemy to advance. Means a big danger is coming and a helpless person is being sitting over there to become the victim of the war. So here with the scene, Ernest Hemingway has tried with a simple elaboration, he has just tried to show, and he has been able to show, that the voiceless common people are in danger, and there is a danger of war, there is a danger of enemy, there is a danger of military. Helpless people are sitting over there, and rest who can walk out, they are walking. So this scene is a starting scene of old man at the bridge. So old man at the bridge, this is a rather a story in which the people are victim of the war. So I will start with the next extract, next para, which is extract from the old man at the bridge. The old man replied, "Yes, I stayed there, you see, taking care of the animals, and I was the last one to leave the town of San Carlos." The old man didn't look like a shepherd nor a herdsman, and he looked at his black dusty clothes and his grey dusty face and his steel rimmed spectacle, and he said, "What animals were they?" "Various animals," he said, and shook his head. "I had to leave them." I was watching the bridge and the African looking country of the Ebro Delta and wondering how long it will take for the enemy, before we could see the enemy, and listening all the while to the first noises that would signal the ever mysterious event called contact. And the old man still sat there. So the narrator, the scout, or the storyteller, Ernest Hemingway, has further advanced his story in this para. In what way? The old man replied before that he was taking care of the animals, but the narrator, the scout, couldn't understand what he was telling, but he just said, "Oh." Then the old man said, when he said, "Oh," the old man replied, "Yes, I stayed there and I was taking care of the animals, and I was the last person to leave the town of San Carlos." So what he was doing? He was taking care of the animals. What does it symbolize? It symbolizes that common man do simple things like taking care of animals. He doesn't look like a shepherd, nor he was a herdsman, and his look was grim. Steel rimmed spectacle, dirty clothes, dark dusty clothes, and beyond this, his grey face, looking aged. So here Ernest Hemingway, the narrator, the scout, tries to symbolize that the common man is so humble, he does such humble jobs as taking care of the animals, and he has to forcefully leave the town of San Carlos. And he was the last person, he waited for the last point to leave the town of San Carlos. So, the misery of the common man is being showed here. Now, when the scout or the narrator talks to him, what type of animal were they? So, the old man replied, various animals. That means a common man is showing that he was doing a big job, various animals. It symbolizes that there were various animals. But the scout still couldn't understand anything now. So, he again did his job, and again here in this plot it has been shown that a contrast is occurring. Here is old man is telling that he was taking care of the animals, and there the scout is anxious to see that up till which point the enemy has advanced. So, he has to look at the African looking country at the Ebro Delta, and he was waiting for the first signals, first noises, and he was amazed, rather terrified to see that event that is called contact with the enemy, obviously. So, these two contrasting situations are being told in the story. I again come to the extract. What animals were they? I asked. There were 3 animals altogether. 2 goats, 1 cat, and 4 pair of pigeons. And you have to leave them? I asked. Yes, because of the artillery. The captain told me to go because of the artillery. And you have no family? I asked, watching the far end of the bridge where a few carts were still hurrying down the slope of the ground. No, he said, only the animals I stated. The cat would take care of itself, but I cannot think what will become of the others. What politics you have? He asked. I asked. I am without politics. He said, I am 76-year-old and I came here 12 kilometers now, and I think now I can go no further. This is not a good place to stop, I said. If you can make it, there are trucks going up and it forks for Tortosa. So, this was the extract. Now, there is a communication between the scout and the old man. As the old man stated, there were various animals. So, a query aroused in the mind of the scout that what animals were they? So, the old man answered, they were 3 animals. What type of animals were they? A goat, a cat, and pigeons, a pair of pigeons. So, 4 pair of pigeons, obviously. Now the scout understands. So, sympathetically he asked, and you have to leave them? So, the old man replied in a humble way, yes, I have to leave them all because of the artillery. The captain told that you no longer can stay in the city. So, he has to go out of the city because of the artillery. Again a question arises from the scout, and you have no family. In reply, humbly the old man is stating that I told that I was taking care of animals, the cat would take care of itself. And what would become to the others? I don't know. Again there is a question from the scout, what politics you have? I am without politics. I am 76-year-old and I came 12 kilometers walking over here and I can no longer go ahead. So again the scout alarmed him that this is not a good place, you can take a truck which would take you to Tortosa. What does the writer tries to symbolize here? That the common man who is a victim of the war has no politics. He is without politics, as the old man is representing a common man. So common man and the old man is without politics. He is tired, he is 76-year-old and he has walked here and he is sitting at the bridge which would be the last bridge of his life, because whenever there will be a contact of the army, he has to die, he will be the victim of the war. And in this para, 3 animals have been characterized: a cat, goat and pigeons. So cat is rather clever. Cat will escape from the war. Cat will take care of itself. Pigeons will fly away. This we will read in further. But goat have to die. So the old man is a symbol of a goat, which is a symbol of a sacrifice. So goat is a sacrifice, and old man has to be sacrificed in the war, and he is sitting on the last bridge of his life. And the soldier is trying, and the scout is trying to motivate him to run away, but he is unable to run. Helplessly he is sitting over there. So this is what being discussed over here. Coming back again to the extract, I'll wait a while and then go. Where do these trucks go? Towards Barcelona, I said. I know no one in that direction. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for telling. He looked at me very blankly and tiredly, as if he wanted to share his worry with someone. The cat will take care of itself. There is no need to be unquiet about the cat. What do you think about the others? Why? They'll be probably come through it all right. You think so? Why not? I said, watching for the far bank where the few carts were left. So again, there is a discussion between the scout and the old man. The scout has suggested to go towards Tortosa, but he said, I'll wait for a while and then I'll go. But where do these trucks go? He said, towards Barcelona. But he said, I do not know anyone in that direction. So he is unoriented. The old man is unoriented. He do not have any orientation. He do not know anyone in Barcelona. He is unknown to the other people of his country. He neither knows where to go, and he has been expelled from the city, San Carlos, by the artillery, leaving his beloved, the cat, the goat and the pair of pigeons, 4 pair of pigeons. So this unorientation of the old man represents the helplessness of the common man that is being depicted here. So the scout tries to communicate with the old man, and he said that these trucks go towards Barcelona, but old man is conscious to talk about, as if he want to share his worries with someone. So he is sharing his worries. Cat will take care of itself. He know cat is clever enough. It will take care of itself. But what about others? Do you think others will survive in the war? Because the city is full of artillery. And this scout is representing elite class. So he is in confidence. He says, why not? Probably they will survive. The old man is confused. You think so? So he is saying, why not? And he is just answering why not, and he is looking at the river bank as if the armies are advancing. So he is in a double mind. His concentration is towards the enemy, and he is talking with the old man, and old man has no fear of enemy. He is in no fear of death. He is in helpless position, and he is just worrying about his animals, and he is confident that the cat will survive. But what about pigeons and the goat? So here the helplessness of the common man is being depicted, and the confidence of the elite class is being depicted, with the contrast of the army having the contact is being depicted over here. So again focusing on the extract. But what will we do? What will they do under the artillery? When I was asked to leave the city due to artillery, did you leave the dove cage unlocked? I asked. Yes. Then they will fly? Yes, certainly they will fly. But what about the others? It is better not to think about others. This para, this stanza is the best representation of the helplessness of a common man. Pigeons are the representation of peace. The peace will fly off when the war is on. So pigeons will fly. Pigeons will fly, there will be no peace when there will be war. So the scout asked the old man, did you leave the dove cage unlocked? Are they locked? He said, yes, they are unlocked. Then they will fly. When they will fly, the peace will fly. So cat will survive, pigeons will fly, but what about others? The goat. The goat has to be sacrificed. So who is sacrificed in the war? Goat, old man, common man, public, non-political man. The person who has nothing to do with these affairs is a victim of the war. So pigeon will fly away, peace will fly away. Cat is clever, it will escape. But what about the others? So old man says hopelessly that it's better not to think about the others, means goat. So now again taking the extract. If you are rested, I would go. Get up and try to walk now. Thank you, he said, and he got up to his feet, swayed from side to side, and sat backward in the dust. I was taking care of the animals, he said dully, but no longer to me. I was only taking care of the animals. There was nothing to do about him. It was a Easter Sunday, and the fascists were advancing towards the Ebro. It was a grey, overcast day with the low ceiling, that the planes were not up. This and the fact that the cat would take care of itself are the only two good lucks that the old man can ever have. And in this way the story ended. So let us discuss the last para. The scout said that if you are rested, then I have to go. So try to move. He wanted to save his life. Old man tried to stand, but he swayed and he sat on the dust because he didn't have any strength. He was there to die. Neither he has any feeling to go anywhere, neither he has the strength to go anywhere. And at this point, the hope of the scout has also given out. He says that nothing to do about him. Up to now he was hopeful that old man would survive. he would go somewhere. But now he is convinced that nothing could be done for him. There were only two good lucks for the old man. One good luck was this, that this was Easter Sunday and it was a grey overcasting day, so the planes of the fascist could not go up in the sky. So on the next moment he is not going to die. So death will come after few hours when the fascist plane will be up in the sky. And the other good luck is that cat is able to take care of itself. These are the only good lucks which are not actually lucks, because he is on the edge of the death and fascists are advancing towards the Ebro, and obviously the soldier will not going to help the old man. So in this way, the old man, the goat, the public, the common man is sacrificed in the war. This was the story. This was the figurative story symbolizing the helplessness of war and the futility of the war for the common people, has been pictured by Ernest Hemingway, the famous American writer. Thank you very much for watching.